Well, between innings, it looked like a congratulatory handshake from Joe Maddon to John Lester. 8 brilliant innings, 8 shutout innings for John Lester. 5 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody, scattered 5 hits, only one of them an extra base hit. But John Lester looks like he may be through for the night. Johnny Cueto, meanwhile, will continue to try to match 8 scoreless innings and go back to work on Hayward, Báez, and Ross in the last of the 8th inning.
Yeah, you could see John Lester saying, I got this, I got this. He's due up 4th. You almost wonder if there would have been a 1-2-3 inning if he leaves him to pitch that 9th inning. The discussion in the dugout didn't look like that, but no one's up yet in the pen.
Hayward pops it up. Belt's got it, and there's 1 away.
Hayward has done a lot of that this year, and with the Cubs' success, he's been able to escape offensively one of the worst productive years he's had, because defensively he has value and he still has his legs. But man, it has been a very tough year for Jason Hayward offensively.
After that first out is recorded, the Cubs bullpen does get to work, and now here's Javier Báez digging in with the bases empty. It is Aroldis Chapman in a scoreless game.
I also think that might be the end of David Ross. A pinch hit for David Ross with Lester being taken out of the game.
Chris Coughlin has standing in the on-deck circle in Ross's place, so wheels turning in the home dugout here. And it's a ball and no strikes to Javi Báez.
This guy is just dangerous enough and has tremendous power. He's cut back on that wiggle that you're going to see in his mechanics of swinging the bat. Which trying to make that change is a very difficult one for a young player, but that's helped cut down on his strikeouts. His power's off the charts, but his ability to expand the strike zone was off the charts last year as well. One swing to make this crowd go crazy.
2 balls and a strike to count to Javier Báez. Well, you talk about him cutting down on the strikeout, something he did successfully while adding to his on-base percentage this year. Credit Joe Maddon for putting him in the right spot more often than not as well. It's a foul ball, and it's 2-2. As recently as 2014, Javi Báez had struck out in 41% of his plate appearances. 41%. This year he cut it down to 24% of his plate appearances. And by the way, he logged in 450 of those. So it wasn't a tiny sample size over which he made that great improvement. Hitter, left-handed hitting Chris Coughlin, former National League Rookie of the Year, waiting on deck for Chicago.
That was the longest pause for Cueto right there before he delivered the pitch, and even Bill Murray saying, let's go.
A long-suffering Cub fan. The quick pitch. It looked, John, off the bat like that was going to get on out to Waveland.
It was. The wind was blowing that ball back as much as it possibly could. And I said this guy's power's off the chart. And 3-2 pitch, and this crowd now could breathe a little bit as they have Chapman now. There is such an adrenaline rush for a closer, by the way. When your team scores that run versus coming into a game tied in the 9th inning, he may throw 105.
Well, he did it on a handful of occasions this year. I wouldn't bet against it. The first run of the game. Coughlin fouls off a pitch to make it 1-2. I mean to tell you, off the bat, it looked like Javier Báez had sent that one clean out of Wrigley Field. And when we saw Pagan go to the ivy, you thought for a moment there was a chance the wind was going to blow it back in and make it playable. That just snuck out into the basket for the home run.
I mean, that's the shortest home run you can hit in left field here. The ball was literally coming down. If the basket there or the fence is not there, it's not a home run because it would have hit the wall. And the wind, which is blowing consistently from left to right, was trying its best to keep that in the park.
Swings and misses. That's 10 for Johnny Cueto, but he's still thinking about the home run ball.
3-2 pitch, probably the only bad pitch. Now he knows it as soon as he hits it, but I don't think he's going to expect how close this is to not being a home run. But he squared it up, he barreled it, and that ball just gets right in the basket. Johnny Cueto has pitched an unbelievable game and made one mistake to a guy with a ton of power, and you see Bill Murray going, got him.
I think Bill Murray had that same moment. Hey, wait a minute, he crushed that ball, but it might not get out of here. It's quite a souvenir for somebody, by the way, and not even the earnest fans of left field are going to be able to reach that one because of some of the new scoreboard there. Tommy LaStella's the pinch hitter with 2 gone. You know, Joe Madden has a baseball in the clubhouse with the winning pitcher in the final score from all 103 of Chicago's wins this season. He laid out more kind of as a visual motivator. The 11 more baseballs it would take to win a World Series title. And if somebody can get into the basket to retrieve that one, and if the Cubs hang on to this game, it'll have John Lester's name written on it, and it will go on display as well. Stella sends a fly ball into center. Hernandez is there for it, and just like that, the Giants are down to their final 3 outs in game 1. The hard-throwing left-hander Aroldis Chapman will try to hammer it down as San Francisco has the top of the order. Playing from behind because of this.
You sound like a man who is afraid that I am dead right.
You talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots like they're like your kids.
I do not hate LeBron James. That's the hottest seat in sports media. This is undisputed.
5th-ranked Washington takes on Oregon.
Watch this speed.
Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
This isn't the country of just okay, which is why we are introducing a better network than ever before. Behold, the future of wireless is here.
Data limits? Some future.
Verizon's network isn't better if it's limited. Don't let Verizon fool you. T-Mobile now covers 99.7% of their customers. Switch to the network built for unlimited data for everyone.
Hey, Jesse.
Who are you?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya. Orange Money represents the money you put away for retirement. Over time, your money could multiply.
Hello, all of you.
Get organized at Voya.com.
At Supercuts, we pay attention to every detail, so you'll feel sharp, clean, and ready to go. And when you're not feeling ready, we'll get you ready to go again. Now you can save time by checking in online.
Stop. With that box, you'll be the first to win PlayStation VR. Player 1. Soon, it spreads like wildfire. Humanity becomes so plugged in, we never see them coming. That's why I was sent back to stop you.
Oh, hey, I won.
Right.
The future of gaming starts at Taco Bell. Grab any $5 box and you could be one of the first to win PlayStation VR.
New limited edition cherry from Limerita, the bold margarita.
Set 'em wild, set 'em wild, set them free. You cannot lose, so go ahead, set 'em free.
Cubs make the AT&T call to the bullpen for the hard-throwing Cuban import left-hander Aroldis Chapman, who, believe it or not, despite all the great heroics during the regular season, has just his second ever postseason save opportunity before him tonight.
Well, this is what they went out and got, the final piece to what was hopefully going to be a long run and a complete team with the Cubs. The only thing, every once in a while, command issues.
Yorkis Hernandez swings and misses to fall behind the ball and 2 strikes. The Giants have the top of their order. Hernandez, Belt, and Posey to try to summon up some late 11th hour magic on the road tonight.
But honestly, TV does this no justice to how hard this young man throws, and what a hitter's challenge to try to react and decide whether it's a strike or not.
About how hard it is to catch. Just ask Wilson Contreras, who comes on in the 9th inning to try to handle him behind the plate.
You got to get a little lucky and cut your swing down and use his power to your advantage. If you have a big swing, you got no chance against him.
Still 2-2 to Hernandez. A couple of notable streaks end with that dramatic full count pitch home run by Javi Báez. The Giants had gone 16 consecutive scoreless innings to start the postseason, the second longest stretch in Major League history. And the home run by Báez, the first postseason run allowed by Giants pitching since the 2nd inning of Game 7 of the 2014 World Series. Stretch of 23 consecutive scoreless postseason innings.
Well, the Giants have been here before, facing the Washington Nationals in a similar situation, down 1-0 in the 9th. Were able to rally and take that game.
Did he hold up? He did not on the appeal. Hernandez strikes out.
Wow, there's some upset guys in the Giants dugout. You can understand the heat of the moment. Did he go? Tough to tell at that angle.
And San Francisco will offer a pinch hitter now. As you take another look at the near check swing by Hernandez.
That's, again, trying to decide at 102 miles an hour where that pitch is. Not an easy task.
Eduardo Nunez bats off the bench in Brandon Belt's spot in the order. Belt was 0 for 3. Tough duty for Belt against the left-hander. And Bruce Bochy running out of opportunities to get Nunez into the game. Nunez unable to start. Was not on the roster for the wild card game because of a hamstring injury. He's able to check his swing there. It's 1-1. Nunez with postseason experience. Played fall baseball with the Yankees in back-to-back years in 2011 and 2012. And take a look at that. The Giants are without a ninth-inning comeback this year. They're trying to get it done against no ordinary man here in Aroldis Chapman.
Chapman, of course, comes and breaks in with the Reds. Widely known for this fastball. Then slowly but surely he started developing that slider. That slider you saw the first 2 pitches to Nunez. Not fair.
Wind blowing in. A guy that has not allowed a home run in a Cubs uniform. And the next 1-2 home to Nunez. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The hardest thing to do as a hitter is to stay patient with your hands. You get your body going, as you saw Nunez right there, almost looking like he was going to attack that ball. You got to be as quiet as you can and then guess where the location is and try your best to make a short stroke.
Another appeal, and it's a 3-2 count now in Eduardo Nunez. Giants have their best 2 chances on deck and in the hold in Buster Posey and Hunter Pence. Eduardo Nunez trying desperately just to get on base here with 1 out in the 9th. Here is the 3-2.
Swung at ball 4 again. Anxious in these moments. You got to pull the trigger quick, but this pitch was way outside. Nunez trying to be protective. Watch where this pitch is, and he just barely gets the bat on it, hits it foul. Would have been ball 4.
The next 3-2 pitch. A broken bat flare on a hop for Báez. Some funny English on that ball, but no trouble on the right side of the infield, and there are 2 away.
Well, you couple that also with Nunez not being able to be full speed with that injury. Gave Rizzo plenty of time to get back to the bag. A healthy Nunez, I think, beats this out. If there's anybody's swing, by the way, that is tailor-made for a 100-mile-an-hour fastball down in the zone, is Posey. Watch this right here. He can't give it the full go.
Buster Posey represents the last chance for San Francisco in Game 1. Posey with a swing and a drive to left. Zobrist back, and it's off the wall. Posey into second, the tying run in scoring position with 2 away in the 9th.
Posey's got such a simple swing that I felt like this matchup, and he went with the slider. He doesn't overswing. Watch how simple this is. And this ball, if it doesn't have the top spin, it's a tie baseball game. Zobrist does his best to try and get him out at second. Of course, Posey does not have the speed, but see how simple that swing is. Looking fastball, reacting to a slider, and then reacting to this, trying to get to second base.
Well, that's going to bring up Hunter Pence. And for many Wrigley faithful, it's just too much to take. There's a pinch runner at second as Gregor Blanco takes over on base. Posey started the night 5 for 10 against Aroldis Chapman in doubles. Here's Hunter Pence, who's had some success in a limited sample size, 2 for 3 against the Cub closer. What does this remind you of, John? You and I were just a couple of years ago. Game 1 of the 2014 NLDS in Washington. The Giants are down to their final out in the top of the 9th inning. Pablo Sandoval tied the game. San Francisco ended up winning that night. They're down to their last strike tonight.
Well, now Pence has to fight, and he fights up here anyways, as does the Giants team. He's got to find the baseball and find a way to put it in play with 2 strikes on him.
That was game 2 of the 2014 division series. A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Hunter Pence.
Anything up over the zone, I don't think Pence can get to. Down, he can.
The Chicago Cubs have not earned a shutout win in a home postseason game since game 1 of the 1984 NLCS against the Padres. And then there was a little matter of Steve Garvey and Tim Flannery and a glove that had Gatorade spilled on it, and it turned into another episode of Cubs folklore. Missing with 103. It's 2-2. Tying run at second, 2 out, top of the 9th inning. Pence bounces it to Báez. Throw to first, and the Cubs have taken game 1. A brilliantly pitched night on both sides of the scorecard. One swing of the bat. Javier Báez, the hero. He straightened out a 3-2 Johnny Cueto pitch with 1 out in the 8th. Delivered the game's only run. Chapman holds in the 9th. And Chicago has claimed game 1 in this best-of-5 series.
Sit in the open, Matt. Couldn't wait to watch this series. It didn't disappoint. It's going to be a great series. San Francisco has everything that you need to be a champion.
Well, it didn't come without a little stress. After Posey had doubled, Hunter Pence had a chance. This is how it ends, fittingly with Javi Báez making the final play of the night.
Well, so many people thinking about this. Could this be the year? Bill Murray, one of those people.
It's in the hole. And game 1 is in the can for Chicago. The W flag flies at Wrigley Field tonight. Let's send it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Matt. Javi, Cueto was really good tonight. He had a single in the 5th, 1 out in the 8th. What were you thinking going into that at bat?
I was just trying to get on base, man. I knew we had some people coming in to hit for Rossi and the pitcher, and I was trying to get on base. And he's been pitching me inside. I was just waiting for him to make a mistake, and he did that last minute, and he left it over the plate.
You looked like you thought it was gone immediately. How well did you hit it? Because it didn't get out by much.
Yeah. I forgot about the wind. The wind's going straight in, and I hit it really good. But good thing it just barely went.
Now the curtain call, what was that like?
What was that?
The curtain call, what was that like?
Just dealing with it. We can't do anything else. Just playing the game hard.
Javier, thank you very much. Matt, back to you.
All right, Kenny, thanks. It's Javier Báez and the game-winning swing that gave him the curtain call and led to the Falcon Tires Grip the Moment, the official tire of Major League Baseball. Javier Báez gripped it, ripped it. Johnny Cueto knew it off the bat. Though the wind almost brought that one back playable, it got into the basket enough to win it for Chicago. Kenny is standing by with the Cubs winning pitcher.
John, you pitched really well tonight. Cueto pitched really well tonight. What was it like for you being in a game like this?
Oh, man, that's awesome. That's an awesome baseball game. Playoff baseball. You know, that was a fun game to be a part of, and obviously really happy to be on this side of it. But, you know, you got to tip your hat to the other guy. I mean, it was a great game all the way around. Great defense. We had some good at-bats there through the middle of the game. And, you know, Cueto just kept making pitches, and I had to keep making pitches with him.
8 innings, 86 pitches. I imagine you feel like you could have gone on. What was it like just coming out of this?
Yeah, I mean, I tried, but, you know, Joe, you know, wanted to make some moves there in the 8th. So, you know, that's National League baseball. You know, American League, you know, you might get another chance to go back out there, but when you have a guy in the bullpen that throws 104, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with him.
Báez, what impresses you the most about him?
Just his ability to play all over the field. You know, this guy was kind of written off as a hitter, as, you know, free swinging and all this stuff, and at times this year he's carried us both offensively and defensively. It's just been fun to watch. Any given night, it seems like he makes a play to save the game for us. So obviously tonight with a big swing and you know, we get on top there 1-0.
John, thanks very much.
Yeah,
Matt, back to you.
Terrific night of postseason baseball. Kenny, thanks. At the end, the Cubs have taken a 1-0 win to take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. Game 2 of this one tomorrow on MLB Network. We're back on FS1 with Game 3 from San Francisco on Monday. The Cubs have taken Game 1. Let's send it to Kevin Burkhardt in Los Angeles, back at our FS1 studios with much more in a busy night in postseason baseball. KB.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. What a game. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that to start off that series, huh? We've got Frank Thomas, Pete Rose, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Man, Cubbies get a 1-0 win, and there's a lot to do. We'll have a full postgame coming. Your takeaway from tonight, Alex?
Well, I mean, an all-time October classic right away. I mean, it was a fun game to watch. We were all excited to watch. But for me, it was a big, big win for the Cubs. Huge win for the fan base. They were very excited, but the perfect formula. And we talked about it, Kevin, a little bit before the game. Depth out of your starter with good defense. We have hit the ball out of the ballpark. And the third one we wrote down was hand the ball to Chapman. And today was a great day.
Got a little dicey with Chapman, but he held on, Pete, that's for sure.
One team got 6 hits, the other team got 3 hits.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll see a better pitch game in the playoffs than what we saw tonight from Cueto and Lester. I mean, they were both lights out. And, of course, when you get the ball to Chapman, you got a good shot. I'm surprised that no one complained about that check swing that the umpire called in the 9th inning, because he might score on Posey's double.
You get a walk, all of a sudden you get a tie game. Frank?
Cueto was excellent. The Cubs seem to be a little rusty offensively. Haven't played a real ball game in a long time. But Báez, Javi Báez, he's impressed me all year long with his ability and his bat speed. He's one of the most talented young kids I've seen in the game. Came up big tonight in a big spot. If he gets in a predictable situation, he's not going to get cheated.
I'll tell you, the Cubs won, but the wind gave him a little help, because that Buster Posey ball, that was out of the yard if that wind isn't blowing in strong there in the end. But what a win. What a game. Cubs take Game 1, 1-0. We've got a full post-game coming your way. Lots of reaction. We'll analyze this. We've got the great Dodgers and Nationals game from earlier. Stay tuned to FS1, baby. We're back.
New Selsun Blue Full and Thick Shampoo targets the source of dandruff and has hair-strengthening proteins and vitamins to leave hair looking thicker and fuller. New Selsun Blue Full and Thick.
Heineken Light makes it okay to flip another man's meat.
No. You never flip another man's meat.
Award-winning Heineken Light is the best light beer you've ever tasted.
That's true. Can I have one?
Can I flip your meat?
No.
Suit yourself.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. When you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza, surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza, proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
You sound like a man who is afraid that I am dead right.
You talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots like they're like your kids. What am I missing?
This is the place to be.
You won't listen.
I do not hate LeBron James. In fact, I like him. I don't like it.
I love it.
That's the hottest seat in sports media. This is undisputed.
The quick pitch. And Báez sends it deep to left. Pagan is there at the wall, and it's in the basket.
Oh, that was the moment. That was the only offense in this game tonight. And Javi Báez, we thought that was going on the waveland, and the wind was blowing so strong, it barely made it out. Frank, I don't know, man. Off the bat, and you called it, by the way. You said that was going, but that just barely made it.
Well, I love to watch Javi Báez swing. He reminds me so much of Gary Sheffield. They never get cheated. And you get them in a predictable situation, you leave a fastball all over the plate, they know what to do with it.
Yeah, you know, Pete, he's kind of their Swiss Army knife. You know, Madden plays him everywhere, and he even made a good defensive play to end the game, too.
He better be glad that ball went out. He's on first if it did.
You're
he
right.
was Cadillacing right out the
head
box.
was down.
Well, you know how Wrigley plays. It's such a small ballpark, and when you crush one, it's normally across the street.
Now, with
He
that
thought
wind
that ball was
blowing in,
across the
Frankie,
street.
with that wind blowing in, nothing's a cinch.
Right.
That was some game, though. I mean, you have to credit both pitchers. Lester and Cueto were simply outstanding. And of course, you know, we were thinking here, you know, you got Chapman, so you can't argue that. But I know we talked. Would you have left Lester in the game? He was pitching that well. He had only 86 pitches.
Yeah, I was tempted. I mean, 86 pitches, dominating for 8 innings. I'm a momentum guy.
Yeah.
I'd probably go out there and throw John Lester for one more inning.
But, you know, it worked out. Yeah. So I guess Joe Maddon's a happy guy right now.
Isn't it amazing? You know, Posey's going to hit off of Chapman, and he was 5 for 10 lifetime. Now he's 6 for 11, and he still brought him in.
That's amazing.
Got confidence in his bullpen.
Yeah.
Hey, he's up 1 game to nothing in the driver's seat.
But that's what we do now, right? That's what we made the trade. He's coming in the game. You can't argue. It worked
why they got him.
For the Cubs. But how about the Báez at bat? The only run of the game, 3-2. He got that count for he hit the home run. Let's welcome in C.J. Nitkowski. We put him at the kiddie table on Thanksgiving. He's in the box over there. C.J., you are our pitcher here, so take us through this at bat and tell us exactly what happened. Cueto was in such a groove. He was hitting all the spots. How did Báez get him here?
Well, certainly Johnny Cueto was fantastic, and you know what we saw him doing, which we have seen him do throughout his career, is change up his timing throughout and at bat and changing from the windup but also from the stretch. Watch him here as we go through this pitch by pitch. Now watch the little shimmy, the pause. We see it trying to disrupt the timing of Javi Báez. This is what Johnny Cueto loves to do, but he went to the well one too many times. We've seen him here on this 2-2 pitch, locate that one just off the plate. But watch it here. Watch the quick pitch and miss his spot and leave that ball right over the middle of the plate. Johnny Cueto was too concerned about trying to play those timing games instead of executing a pitch. Tried the quick pitch, thought he could catch Báez off guard. He was unable to do that. That ended up costing him the game. Just that one simple mistake in a 3-2 count. You have to be careful, and unfortunately for Johnny Cueto, unable to come through.
You know, it's tough, CJ, boy, when you pitch a game like that, but try the quick pitch, it didn't work, and you get burnt a little bit. CJ will be back with you in a second. So, Alex, if you're Báez there, as you're watching that at bat, 3-2, and he just jumps on it. His approach there for the young guy, what'd you think?
Well, first of all, give Báez a lot of credit. Cueto threw a lot of quality pitches. I mean, he didn't miss by much. He let off 2 pitches that could have been strikes, were called balls. But like Frank said, he got him into a predictable count, and he's a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and he just let it go.
He's absolutely right. Predictable count, 3-2. Don't want to walk him. Fastball up in the strike zone. By you, out of the ballpark. He's got power, right, Frank?
I know. He's got a lot of power. You know, I shouldn't be such a big Cubs fan, but I really like this kid. I've watched him the last couple of years, watching him grow. This guy's got so much talent. Joe Maddon's going to have to find a way to keep this guy on the field because he's electric. He's got 40 to 50 home run power, and he's also, to me, look like a little Gold Glover in the future. This guy's a special player. The Cubs are going to have to hold on to this young man.
You know, how about pitching now? Interesting, right? Because we had 2 weeks to talk about it, really, what the Cubs were going to do, how they're going to set up the rotation. So Lester, Game 1, not seeing Arrieta to Game 3. You know what, Pete? That move worked out all right because Lester surely made Joe Madden look pretty good
well,
today.
I think he was 19-3 for the season, wasn't he?
He had
I mean, it's either him or Max for the Cy Young, probably. So how can you go wrong with Lester? You played against Lester and with Lester, right?
Lester, I played against Lester. He has great stuff. He really can work both sides of the plate. He's a special pitcher, and he's a gamer. He gets right after you. So he doesn't like to get behind an count. He comes right after guys. I've always liked him. He has a great cutter, too, which is the equalizer.
Another thing that happened tonight, excuse me, Alex, but San Francisco blew a couple base runners.
They sure
one
did.
getting picked off, one getting thrown out trying to steal off Lester. That doesn't help you early in the ball game.
You know, one thing about John Lester, I faced him a long time with New York when he was with Boston, and he looked so comfortable. I don't know if it's the second year, but the combination between David Ross, he just feels like he's at home. He feels very comfortable both on the field, in the dugout, and not only that, what he brings to that clubhouse, the energy, the world championships. He's a great fit for the Chicago Cubs.
And David Ross, we'll get to in a second. He played a huge factor in this game as well. It is midnight on the East Coast. If you're just tuning us in, welcome. You're watching the postgame here on FS1. Great day of doubleheader baseball in the NLDS. We've got Frank Thomas, Pete Rose, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So if you missed the game, you just came back from a nice little party, let's get you caught up on the highlights. Here's what happened tonight. Game 1, Giants-Cubs, and here we go. Meeting in the postseason for only the second time ever. Cueto and Lester, this would be an absolute gem. In the third inning, it's David Ross. This one is deep, but watch Gorkis Hernandez with a nice catch and save in Cueto.
Another wind blow.
Yes.
Wind
Normally that ball is 12 rows back normally in the sunshine at Wrigley Field.
So a few of those tonight, didn't we, Big Hurt?
Yes, we did.
So that helped the pitcher, sixth inning. This is Posey at the plate against Lester. And how about the glove? I mean, it did the work just barely, though. Pete, it almost went through the glove here for Lester. Check this replay
He's done
out.
that a couple times.
He must have some very loose glove out there.
You don't want to throw it to first. You got to run it over there.
That actually probably worked out well.
It did.
Bottom six, Cueto just working the corners beautifully. Gets the fastball by Fowler. Then Bryant goes down and chases. 9 strikeouts, 6 scoreless through Cueto as this one developing to the 8th. Connor Gillespie, the hero in Wednesday's wild card game. No chance against that breaking ball. Lester, 8 shutout innings, 5 Ks. Bottom 8, here we go. Bill Murray with his son Luke trying to rally the troops with a Jimmy John's hat on, and it worked. Javier Báez goes boom, and the Cubs take the lead.
Look at that bat speed, Kevin. I mean, when he hit that ball, we thought it would be way across Waverly, but no way. It barely gets out in the basket. Wrigley's a very tricky place for pitchers sometimes.
Get a number 6 unwitch for everybody. Bill Murray's happy. There you go. Fans going crazy. Báez, the curtain call. 9th inning. Chapman comes in. Hence, ground ball. Tough play, but Báez made it look easy after Posey had doubled. That wraps it up. Cubs get a win. And 1-0, they take game 1 of this NLDS over the Giants. Great game. Bruce Bochy of the Giants, they always seem to win these games, but not tonight. Here's his reaction moments ago.
It was a great ball game. It was. We played well, made some good defensive plays. We get some guys out there early in the game, and we just couldn't get a hit to finish it off. But it was a great ball game. One pitch, and as I said, Johnny, I mean, what a job he did for us. He did all he could to help win this ball game, but you got to score. And 9th inning, though, they were fighting. And, I thought Buster's ball had a chance there. And, that's a tough one, but, I expect these games to be like this. And guys played great. They really did.
Well, if you go back to the regular season series, the last 5 games Giants and Cubs have played were 1-run games. So this is really not a shock. This is how they played. And every little thing, every little bit of minutia in this game matters. But you picked this out in the 4th inning. This was a big play, and at the time, most people probably missed it. But tell us about base running in this game, because that affected the Giants here in the 4th.
Yeah, base running is always important, especially in October and especially in a very close game. I mean, Pete, you know this better than anyone. With 2 outs, you have 2 thoughts. You want to have a very strong, aggressive secondary lead, and your only thought process is, I want to score on any double, or perhaps even a long single. And today, we saw Posey here, which maybe he thought there was 1 out, and it may have cost them a run.
Just kind of slowing down on Pagan's double, and the 2 outs, you got to be going anyway. You're right. Maybe he lost track of the outs.
Well,
And then, you know,
first of all,
I don't know if he would have scored, but it's still a big play.
First of all, you're getting a bigger lead because Lester's not going to throw the ball to first.
Right. So you're saying, bottom line, he's got to score.
Well, let's just he acted like he ran to second. I can't go to third. Then all of a sudden he realized the ball was by the left fielder. And I didn't know Buster Posey was that slow.
He is that slow.
He is?
Those are catcher legs. You're not going to see Buster Posey scoring that too often, but I understand what Alex was going with there. You got to be aggressive in playoff ball games. Every run counts and every run matters.
Yeah, and the Giants had a couple of those questionable, and I think part of that, too, give some credit to David Ross. You know, he has been Lester's guy all year long, right? But behind the plate tonight, he had a couple big throws. He caught a runner on a steal, and then he also picked a runner off first base, Pete.
He's caught every game Lester pitched this year except one. That's how important he is to Lester. He's out easy.
This is her. I mean, Lester's supposed to be easy to steal against, right?
Let me ask a question. We haven't commented on this. And by the way, Bruce Bochy is one of the best managers in all of baseball. Would that kind of strain sending that pinch hitter up there that can't run at all?
Oh, Nunez
in the last inning?
It was a little odd. I mean,
because he can run a little bit, he's going to beat that out.
Yeah, he had that ball in the hole and he couldn't run. It was a little.
He has very good bat speed, though. He can really hit that fastball. I watched him a lot in the American League when he was with the Twins. He's a very good fastball hitter. Maybe he was just thinking, let's get a base hit, get started here. We'll bring a pinch runner in for him. I guess that's the only way you could do that because guys throwing 105 miles an hour, most guys can't.
Well, let me ask you this, and we'll bring CJ in a moment because I want to get his perspective on this. But first game, and we'll get to the first game too. But first game, we saw a lot of the catcher-pitcher relation, right? Clayton Kershaw, and he was just not on the same page as Yasmani Grandal. So here's Ross. Pete, as you said, he's caught every start but one from Lester. The comfort level, could you see it? Is there something to it, the catcher-pitcher here?
Kevin, there's no question about it, and I've seen it in my entire career. It's probably the most underrated aspect of the game, Pete, and I don't know how you feel, but especially with aces, you want them to be very comfortable. Tonight, John Lester looked like Joe Montana throwing to Jerry Rice.
I like that.
And David Ross is, not only has he been unbelievable this year, but what he's brought to that clubhouse. Look, in many ways, Joe Madden says, David, you run the clubhouse, you police it, he keeps everyone accountable. And one thing that Theo Epstein has done an excellent job is he's brought in free agents with high character that understand winning baseball.
What about Marino to Clayton? Aren't you a Miami Dolphin fan?
Marino to Duper would be even better.
There you go. There you go. Pete going back to the roots. But, I mean, I think it's a fair argument. Let's bring in our pitcher. He's in the cube. C.J. Nikowski. C.J., so as a pitcher, tell us about this. I mean, is this big of a deal? Are we overhyping this? And do you see it, especially with Lester and Ross?
Well, it does matter. And I think with Lester and Ross, it's a very easy relationship to look at, and you see the results. But in the case of Clayton Kershaw earlier today and Yasmani Grandal, I just can't buy it as an excuse. Grandal has caught him 10 times this year. Now, we see here as we're watching John Lester, and they were in that groove, and they weren't missing. And that's a nice place to be, and you want to be able to get there. But come postseason time, you have to be able to throw to the catcher that is going to be in the lineup that night, and it may not be your favorite guy. I don't think Clayton Kershaw would blame Yasmani Grandal at all as far as what happened in that game tonight. He was off. He was missing location. He's not going to put that on Yasmani Grandal. You got to be able to hit your spots. Clayton Kershaw is a veteran. You expect veterans to be able to come through in big situations. I can't put it on Grandal. I don't think the relationship between him and how little they worked together over the years had anything to do with it.
Kevin, we're forgetting one thing.
Yeah.
Kershaw won the game.
Listen,
I mean, Kershaw won the game, so we're sitting there worrying about the catcher. He won the game.
I agree, but you think the catchers and the pitcher have the same symmetry in watching those two games?
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree with you 100% on that.
I'm asking. You guys are the stars here. I'm asking the question.
A-Rod hit it right on the head. Lester looked so comfortable throwing to Ross tonight. And Cueto looked comfortable throwing to Posey.
Right.
That's why it was such a good game and a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Both pitchers were in control the whole night.
You know, it is interesting, too, because I think, and we'll get to the Dodgers in a second if you missed that today, but think about the pressure that would have been on Kyle Hendricks tomorrow, because even though he was great and he led the league in ERA this year, he had 2 starts in the playoffs last year. He didn't get through the 5th inning in either one, and now he's like, okay, 1-0 lead, let me go out and do my thing. It's a little different, Pete, right?
Now the pressure's on the Giants.
Okay.
Shamar's there tomorrow night, I believe.
Yes.
Now he's got pressure tomorrow. They got to come back on that game.
A lot of pressure on Shamar's tomorrow night. Ex-Cub. He wants to do well, but he knows the Cubs will be after him tomorrow. You know, Lester, that's in that conversation with Ross. Ross and Lester's been together in Boston. They've been together many years. You're right. It's just like throwing Montana and Jerry Rice. But They got a kid, Wilson Contreras. They got to get in the ball game, who's a special talent, who catches well, throws well, and can also hit. So the Cubs, like you said, the pressure is on the Giants now, so watch out.
I have no idea who McMahon threw to with your Bears. We won't even talk about that.
Willie Gault.
Willie Gault, the sprinter, champion sprinter.
Want to go through every NFL team while we're at it, Pete?
No, we don't have time for the Bengals.
Kenny Anderson in Cincinnati. Should we go there?
God.
All right, let's go. So for those of you who didn't see the Dodgers game, let's go there too, all right? This was a great game too. First game, maybe not the pitcher's duel that we thought with Scherzer and Kershaw. I mean, you're talking 4 Cy Youngs between them. This should have been amazing, and it was a great game, but the pitcher's struggling a little bit in the first. First pitch, Corey Seager's going to see off Max Scherzer, and he takes him to dead central, Big Hurt.
Super rookie, Corey Seager. This guy's a very special ball player. He will be marketed in Major League Baseball really soon as one of the top players in the game.
Youngest Dodger to ever hit a postseason homer. Then top third, LA's already up 2. Justin Turner, who had an amazing second half. 2-run shot. All of a sudden, it's 4-0 LA. With Kershaw on the mound, you're thinking, man, they're in good shape. But you know what? Nationals fought them here. And they clawed back to within 4-3. But here is a huge spot. Danny Espinosa chasing on the breaking ball. Fired up as Kershaw.
1 for 10 in men in scoring position where Washington today is not going to get it done.
They had their chances. There's no doubt. 9th inning, Dodgers up 4-3. Kenley Jansen.
This guy's a monster, man.
I mean, he had some absolute filth out there today. He got a 5-out save for only the 2nd time in his career. And the Dodgers hold on 4-3. They only got 5 innings from Kershaw, and he labored, but 3 runs allowed, and he did get this team the victory. Manager Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, 1-0 in the postseason now.
You know, this is a game that obviously in any short series you want to win the first game, and you know when your ace doesn't have his best stuff and you still find a way to win, you know Clayton's going to take the mound again this series, and you know if it comes to that. And we always feel good with Clayton. So, yeah, you know, in some sense, you feel you steal one when he doesn't have his best stuff because you know he's going to throw well the next time he gets the ball.
All the organization right now is in the playoff play for one thing, and that's what we're playing for right now. And, you know, we try to do everything what we have right now and try to take advantage of the opportunity. So, you know, if I have to go 6 outs right now, you know, it's just we got to go. I mean, if I have to do it every day, you know, we got to go.
Well, that was Kenley Jansen, who was just dominant. 5-out save for him. So Kershaw, you know, I think it's 2 sides of this, guys, right? Because we always expect him to go out and throw a complete game winner hitter. That's how good he is. So when he struggles a little bit, but there was struggle here today. There's no question about it. He fought and he labored and he was frustrated. He showed it. So, Frank, if you're the Dodgers and you get a win in a game like this where he was okay, do you feel good about it, or do you feel like, man, we're a little worried about him going forward?
No, this is extreme confidence for the Dodgers now. They played so well this year without Clayton Kershaw. Now he comes back and win a big ball game to start the series. They're a confident ball club. We've seen them win games all year long. We're going how they're doing it. They're happy where they're at right now, and the pressure's on the Nationals now at home.
Never worry about a game that you won. Clayton Kershaw, even though he didn't have his good stuff today, he pitched out of some jams.
Yes, he did.
He did. He pitched out of some jams. I expect him to pitch a lot better at Dodger Stadium next time out.
Alex, do you feel Kershaw? How's he feeling after a game like just the win? He's happy, simple as that, move on?
You know, I think Frank and Pete are right. You won, and you move on to the next day. But for me, when you compare Clayton Kershaw and you see what John Lester and Madison Bumgarner look in between the lines and in between innings in the dugout, there's a calmness about them, too. When I look at Clayton Kershaw, he doesn't quite feel as comfortable. And it's something that will be never spoken about. There'll be no quotes. But when you drive to the stadium and you know A.J. Ellis will be catching you and you guys are on the same page and you have been for 7 years, I know C.J. said 10 or 22 games, that'll never match the trust level in 7 years.
All that being said, Dodgers beat Scherzer today, and they win Game 1, and they are up 1-0 in that series. By the way, 2 other games in the American League today, and we will catch you up on all that when we come back. So a lot more to do with a post game here on FS1. How about Toronto? They couldn't take a 2-0 lead on Texas, could they? And then the Red Sox, oh, they're running into a buzzsaw. Did LeBron pitch? He did not pitch, but maybe some influence there. Highlights coming, analysis. It's the post-game show on FS1. Stay with us. We're back.
This
This is the biggest Saturday in sports.
The Red River Showdown is on.
Super Saturday kicks off as Texas takes on Oklahoma. Then it's Game 2 of the NLDS, live.
And the NLDS is underway.
And finally, UFC 204 prelims. October 8th is Super Saturday, only on FS1.
This is the new 2017 Chevy Cruze. I'm only going to show you half of it. What do you think?
I think it looks very sleek.
The lights remind me of Audi lights.
And it starts at $22,190.
Nice.
But there's another side to this car.
Oh, wow.
Aaron loved
This is
it.
the first ever Chevy Cruze hatch.
Well, that's impressive.
Wow.
So check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do like it a lot.
Now that you know it's a hatchback, what does it make you think of?
A young professional / weekend warrior. The whole business in the front, party in the back sort of thing.
These are Vince Wilfork's words of strength. Physical strength is nothing if not mental.
Castrol Edge is 3 times stronger against viscosity breakdown than the other leading motor oils. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
We're downtown to see if guys can tell the difference between a Joseph A. Banks suit and more expensive designer brands. Which one is the Armani suit? The polka dotted tie. Please reveal. Oh my goodness. Do they all say Joseph A. Bank? Very impressive. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Your car insurance policy is 22 pages long. Did you read every word? No. Only lawyers do that. So when you got rear-ended and you needed a tow, your insurance company told you to look at page 5 on your policy. Did it say, great news, you're covered on page 5? No. It said, blah, 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 blah.
The Liberty Mutual app with Coverage Compass makes it easy to know what you're covered for and what you're not. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The sandwich is really bringing the heat.
Oh, speaking of bringing the heat. In this corner, weighing in at 6 ounces, the fiery ultimate chicken sandwich. Awesome. And his opponent, weighing in at $1.65, the Caped Carpooler, past his prime, Pete. And that's for you.
Ring the bell. The all-new fiery ultimate chicken sandwich is here. And try our new blast flavor funnels. This is how you Sonic.
Here's the 3-2. Báez drives one in the air. Deep left field. That goes Pagan. Back near the wall. Pagan at the wall. That ball is going for a home run. Javier Báez with a home run to left. Cubs lead 1-0.
Ah, love that call. Pat Hughes, Cubs Radio Network. Good stuff. What a win for the Cubs. Exciting game. And coming up immediately following this postgame, confessions of a Cubs fan, a century of waiting. Here's a taste of what's to come on that show.
Yeah, someday we'll go out our way. Yeah, someday we'll go out our way.
If and when the Cubs finally win the World Series.
I just can't imagine it.
But it would be certainly the biggest sports event in the history of Chicago.
This whole city would absolutely explode.
I'll probably cry. I'm sure I'll cry a little bit. I'm ready to celebrate.
It's coming up next. Eddie Vedder singing a little song, lending his vocal talents. Frank, you're a Chicago guy. What do you think that whole scene will be like if the Cubs even get there?
It will be a mob scene. That fan base has been waiting to win a World Series for a very long time. It means that I got to move out to Vegas for probably 3 months if they win it all, because it's going to be Cub mayhem in Chicago for a very long time.
There wasn't nobody at that game, and I saw the Cubs win the last time they won.
That's what you're trying to say there.
1908?
Pete, what was 1908 like, Pete, when you were walking around?
It usually snowed in October. Oh, you guys are so funny. Hey, Rob, what are you laughing about?
See, we missed you, pal.
Hell yeah. We missed A-Rod.
I know, he's back. He's back. We got him back. That's the biggest story right here of the season. A-Rod back with us.
And if Washington keeps up, Max will be back, too.
Of course. Well, yeah, man, Max didn't like the way today went, that's for sure. You want to do some highlights from the American League games?
Oh,
Should we
man.
do that? There's some
Home run derby.
Yeah, 2 games in the American League today, too. We showed you the highlights of the National League games And these were, I don't know if these are going the way that everyone thought they were going to do. So we're not going to go to those highlights. We're going to do that in just a little bit. You want to take a break first? Should we do that? Then come back? We'll do that. Man. We got a lot more to do. That's what I'm telling you here. All right? There is LeBron. I promise you the highlights are coming. I was just a little premature. Blue Jays hitting home runs off Yu Darvish. The Indians and Red Sox sending the Sox back to Fenway down 0-2. We're back on FS1.
You sound like a man who is afraid that I am dead right.
You talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots like they're like your kids. What am I missing?
This is the place to be.
You won't listen.
I do not hate LeBron James. In fact, I like him. I don't like it.
I love it.
That's the hottest seat in sports media. This is undisputed.
The highly advanced Audi A4.
Fifth-ranked Washington takes on Oregon. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
With Custom Ink, you can design custom t-shirts and other great products for every occasion. From the first day of school to game day and everything in between. With the best collection of styles and graphics to choose from, it's easy to go online and create custom t-shirts and more for all of life's events. Get free shipping and on-time delivery, guaranteed. Go to customink.com to get started today.
The first rule of being a Viking is that teamwork is important. Remember to do the little things. Help each other out. And the second rule of being a Viking, there's more than one way to win. Vikings, War of Clans. Play free now.
Giants, Cubs, Game 2 tomorrow. That'll be on MLB Network tomorrow night. Jeff Samardzija facing his former team. Major League ERA leader Kyle Hendricks going for the Cubs. 8 Eastern on MLB Network. As we welcome you back. Post-game show here on FS1. I've got quite the crew with me. I'm pretty fired up. Frank Thomas is here. Pete Rose is here. Alex Rodriguez. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. CJ Nikowski is with us, too, and we will hear from him in just a moment. Why don't we finally get to those highlights of the American League games? We've been promising you those. Let's see what happened. So let's go to Texas. Yu Darvish on the mound after Hamels got shelled in Game 1. And guess what? Darvish got shelled today. This was strange, though. Giving up home runs left and right. Here's Kevin Pillar going down the line, and that makes it 3-1. And then it's Ezekiel Carrera. I didn't expect that 2 batters later. That makes it 4-1. Hold on. 2 more batters later. This maybe you do expect. Encarnacion. Bam.
This guy's going to be an expensive free agent this offseason, but this team, this is a bad sign for Texas Rangers. All their big guns are hitting the ball out of the ballpark in this playoff season.
What was he throwing? Tireless?
Apparent 4 home runs.
I mean,
that was unbelievable. 9th inning, Ozuna with a runner on. Beltre on second, gets Moreland to fly out to center. Blue Jays 2-0 series lead, and they're going back to Toronto, as a matter of fact. Here's LeBron James. Thought he was a Yankee fan, Alex. I don't know what happened. He's ditched that. He's now an Indian fan.
What happened?
He's going right now with the front runner. Lonnie Chisenhall with a 3-run bomb off David Price. 4-0 Indians before you could even blink. And then you've just got Corey Kluber, who is flat out dealing.
Corey Kluber's had a great season this year. Back to Cy Young form. It'll be an interesting race in the American League.
Sure was. You know, worried about him with the injury, but you know what? He was simply outstanding. 7+ shutout innings, got some help too, and really everything going the Indians' way. It was like LeBron with that block in the finals. I mean, just everything going right there. And so now you have the Rangers and you have the Red Sox down 0-2. Who's got the better shot to come back and win 3 in a row?
I like the Red Sox. First of all, they're going home. They're playing at Fenway Park.
I'm sorry. You like the Red Sox? Has that ever come out of your mouth before? Just checking.
Let me start again. Fenway Park.
Yeah.
I like them because they're going home. They're playing at Fenway Park. They're a much better team there. They play better. They play with more confidence. They get a chance to sleep in their own bed, Pete, and I think it's going to be decided in Game 5.
Well, could we be looking at Big Poppy's last game?
Yeah?
Hey, they might have a spot for you next year. Still in for Big Poppy.
I like being next to you, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Rumor mill, huh? Rumor mill.
We don't know what's your opinion on it.
But
no,
you know what?
He's right. The Red Sox are going home. I think the Rangers are DEAD, man.
Really?
On arrival.
Now, remember, the Rangers were up 2-0 on the Blue Jays last year. Frankfurt, Toronto won the last.
Those fans in Toronto are going to be crazy.
I think the Boston Red Sox got a little more to play with. I think Alex is right. Big Poppy's last season is a rallying cry for the team. I'm sure that plane ride was quiet, but those guys are coming together. They got the best chance, I think, of coming back down 2-0.
Rangers have a shot? Any shot?
Not when all their big guns are swinging the bat like they're swinging right now. Toronto can hurt you when they're swinging the bat really well.
Yeah.
The number 1, number 2 pitcher got beat.
Yeah.
What's the song, Oh Canada?
Oh, get your passport out, buddy.
We just want to hear you sing it.
And they're facing Sanchez, who's been amazing.
Canada, glorious and free.
Oh, gosh.
Take it back to Kevin.
Oh, my goodness. It's getting late in the studio, I tell you that.
Pretty sure we're not allowed in the country after hearing that. That's for sure. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. We've got plenty more to do here on the postgame. What a night from Wrigley. Javi Báez going deep for the only run of the game. Cubs over the Giants 1-0. Stay with us.
Before Hendo tries to take Bisping's belt, UFC 204 starts here. By knockout, by submission, Pickett and Alcantara win any way they choose. UFC 204 prelims, Saturday at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did
It's not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. And later, I'll experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last! Especially you, Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
She got to pick out the paint. I got to spend a whole day with my favorite helper.
Now on sale at your locally owned True Value. Aaron snow throwers starting at $4.99. A Troy-built gas blower. And a shop vac wet dry vac. Behind every project is a True Value.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We're downtown to see if guys can tell the difference between a Joseph A. Bank suit and more expensive designer brands. Which one is the Armani suit? The polka dotted tie. Please reveal. Oh my goodness. Do they all say Joseph A. Bank? Very impressive. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
The sandwich is really bringing the heat.
Oh, speaking of bringing the heat. In this corner, weighing in at 6 ounces, the fiery ultimate chicken sandwich. Awesome. And his opponent, weighing in at $1.65, the caped carpooler, past his prime, Pete. And that's for you.
Ring the bell. The all-new Fiery Ultimate Chicken Sandwich is here. And try our new Blast flavor funnels. This is how you Sonic.
The tools used to work hard have evolved through the years. They've helped us build nations, move mountains, drive ourselves harder. But one thing has never changed: the DNA of hard work, handed down from generation to generation to generation. That's why the DNA of our hardworking protection will always remain the same. Introducing the next evolution of hardworking protection. Shell Rotella.
Whether you're playing in the majors or making seriously good bourbon,
It takes time, hard work, and commitment to your craft. Because the greatest achievements in life don't just happen, they're earned.
It'll be Dodgers-Nationals Game 2 tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern right here on FS1. Lefty Rich Hill against 16 game winner Tanner Roark. Oh, yeah, Dodgers took Game 1. They're up 1-0 in that series, so pressure on Roark is coming your way. Welcome back. Post-game here on FS1. So, yeah, that'll be our game tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern. Make sure you're there. Crew will be here along with myself. So give me a key player in this game, someone you're going to be watching in this one tomorrow.
Kevin, I'm going to stick with Trey Turner. To me, he is the key for the Nationals. If the Dodgers do what they did today and control him, he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and an RBI. If that continues, it's going to be a very short series for the Nationals.
I'm looking forward to watching Tanner Roark pitch. A lot of people don't know about this guy. We talk about the Dodgers struggling against left-handed starters. Well, Tanner Roark has a great changeup, has the ability to neutralize guys like Adrian Gonzalez, Josh Reddick, Corey Seager. Those are going to be fun at-bats to watch.
Well, I would say Bryce Harper because he's facing another left-hander, but I'll take Jason Wirt. He's going to have a good game tomorrow.
I'm going to go with Zimmerman, the longest tenured National. Time is running out to win a championship for him. He swung the bat well today. He needs to have a big game tomorrow against Rich Hill. Set the tone for these guys.
Isn't it interesting that Roark was the guy when they signed Scherzer that got bumped to the bullpen, but now they're relying on him big time for number 2. Big news, Pete, you're trending on Twitter. I know you'll be tweeting right after the show, but you are very popular with the tweeters of America. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And all the dogs are outside are barking loud.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, I told you last year, it's never good to be trending on Twitter.
Look forward to tomorrow.
No!
Can't wait to be with you guys tomorrow. And a reminder, coming up next, Confessions of a Cubs Fan, a century of waiting. It is a good show. Enjoy it. Frank Thomas, Pete Rose, TJ Nikowski, Alex Rodriguez. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. See you tomorrow.
Baseball.
Baseball,
The
baby.
greatest.
Yeah.